I finally killed one. Holy cow. Welcome back, boys and girls. Today, I'm completing a long time bucket list hunt of mine, prairie dogs in western Kansas. They're pretty hard to find unless you know someone who has them, and lucky enough for me, I finally found someone who would let me hunt. I've got my 17 HMR with a 9-power scope that I sighted in a few videos ago, so make sure you go watch that video. And I also brought this 1022 with also a 9-power scope, just in case I melt the barrel down on that one. I used Onyx to find these prairie dog towns out in this big pasture. I'm actually sitting right next to a town right now, so let's sneak out there and see if we can get a couple shots off. You can see I've got my camo on today. Prairie dogs use their eyesight more than anything to detect predators and everything, so I really want to blend in with this brown grass around me, so I just got my tan hoodie on right now. I'm gonna try to stay downwind from them. I know they use their eyes more, but they also use scent and their nose, so I'm going to try to give myself the best advantage that I can to get some successful shots off. Got CCI full metal jackets, get some loaded up here. I'm just kind of sitting out here in the middle of this town. We're kind of right on the edge. But I've got one prairie dog that's like 20 yards from me chirping, and then there's another one maybe 50 yards out somewhere that's chirping at me. But I'm having more fun just sitting here listening to him chirp and watching him run around than I am shooting him right now. And I'm kind of letting him get used to me and come back out. When I drove up, there was probably 100 of them just scurried, just right off where I parked. So I'm just letting them calm down here a little bit and just watching them, getting used to how they interact with each other, how one will start chirping over here and then one will start chirping over there. I'm just trying to kind of learn them so I can be more successful. Man, these things are small and hard to hit. They don't give you much room for air. They were just sitting right on the top of their little mounds there, and you gotta sneak that bullet right in there. I probably shot the piece of food that one had out of its paws. I don't think I hit it though, but hopefully looking through the spotting scope you guys could see that. Oh, just over the top of that one. I think that just went right through that prairie dog. I definitely hit him. These guys are tiny. Oh, they're fat, but they're just hard to hit. They give you a tiny target. Oh, he just went underground. That was a long shot anyway. There's another one way out there. He went underground too. Definitely in a good spot, but I think they know I'm here now, so we might need to move to the north a little bit. There's more of a draw canyon over there. I can hear him chirping, and I might be able to just peek over the kind of the rim of that canyon and see some more and maybe get some better shots. I finally killed one. Holy cow. Holy cow, I finally killed one. Oh, that took way too long. I gotta get this rifle sighted in better. Ugh. Telling you what though, this barrel's getting a workout. Well, after lots of shooting, I finally ran out of ammo down there, had to come back to the truck and figured I better eat my lunch before it goes bad. Made some tuna salad, some sourdough bread, cheese, chips. I can't do it like that. Okay. I switched to my 22. We came out here looking for any of the ones that I had hit earlier. Couldn't find any of them. Allegedly, they'll drag off the dead ones, take them underground and eat them. Sick little dogs, sick little prairie dogs. Anyway, I think we're gonna move to a different spot these ones have officially figured out that we're here and aren't really coming up anymore. I don't know if that's me, probably, or if it's gotten too hot for them and now they're kind of going down and staying underground. So we're gonna move to a different spot and see if we can do any better there. Look at that little prairie dog skull there. Interesting. Well, I went to two other spots. They were both bust. Those prairie dogs were a lot more skittish than these ones. I came back to the first spot, but just really snuck in, you know, turned my pickup off and just coasted in here and then walked up here. And I ended up getting one. So I'll go show you what one of these looks like up close. Here's what one of these little parasite dogs look like. It's about the size of my boot. They're little holes. They tear up these pastures so bad that they're a nuisance in that way. But they also carry the plague on fleas. So they got fleas that carry the plague. A bunch of other diseases. They're just nasty little rodents. So I'm not going to eat them. I'm not even going to touch it because I don't want to catch anything. It's kind of like a $2 hooker. Let's break this hunt down and subscribe if you want to see more awesome prairie dog hunts like this one coming up in the future. A few things that I learned from this hunt was, number one, bringing bug spray. Because of the fleas and the off chance that the town will actually have fleas, it's a good idea to spray yourself down, spray where you're laying down, whatever. Just a little peace of mind so that you don't get the plague. It's not recommended to eat them, and I won't. Maybe Big Jake will. But if you do want to eat them, be careful, you know, cook them thoroughly, really know what you're doing. Again, not recommended eating them. Some kind of shooting mat, something to lay on, because of the grass, makes you itch, you know, buffalo grass cutting you up, and rocks, cactuses, you know, it would help having some kind of shooting mat to lay on, just so that you don't get so cut up from laying in the pretty dry grass. A super dialed in gun and rangefinder, because they're so small, having an accurate range so that you can really dial in your rifle is crucial to actually hitting these things. I've probably shot 100 times and only hit 10, but it was kind of windy. We'll get to the 17 here in a little bit, but not knowing ranges is, you know, that another 25 yards will affect your bullet drop so much on a 17 like that. So knowing exactly what range to dial to and having a gun that is dialed in that you can actually do that with is crucial to being accurate and hitting these little prairie dogs. Shooting the 17 HMR was super fun on these prairie dogs. Obviously, it's fast and, you know, realistically 100, maybe 150, 200 yard range is pretty realistic for a 17 on a calm day. I had a little bit of wind and that was obviously affecting me. It's a little more expensive, especially when you're just shooting the dirt with the 17, but obviously you can shoot a lot further than a 22. 22 probably has a 100 yard range max to shoot consistently at. I'm sure you Chris Kyles out there can shoot way further than 100 yards, but I can't, okay? I'm used to a shotgun and just slapping the trigger. So I definitely need to get used to just a nice gentle trigger pull next time. 17 is definitely still my go-to gun on the next hunt. I think getting this rifle dialed in and cleaning the barrel, go watch my last video, cleaning the 17 HMR, that will greatly affect you're shooting. The town that I was hunting is pretty used to humans. It's right off a whole bunch of oil wells and stuff. So they're used to pickups driving in and out all the time. When I went back to the town that was in the back of this pasture that isn't by a bunch of oil wells and is pretty secluded, about 300 yards and they were gone. So kind of different than what you would think. The town that was used to people, you can get multiple shots off of, and the town that is not used to people, they're super skittish. Where I was in that actual town was the perfect spot. There was just a little finger of a ridge that came out into the middle of this bowl, so I was able to shoot like 360 degrees basically, and I could shoot this side and then shoot in front of me and then shoot this side and just keep working my way around and have, you know, basically that full range of safe shooting. If you guys liked this video as much as I did making it, then be sure to click that like button and we'll see you guys next week.